It feels like forever since I sat down to play something that's completely new, that I've never played before, and that I'm really excited about. Station to Station is one of those games. It popped up on Twitter about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I immediately fell in love with it because it looks beautiful. You can see everything going on at the minute. This game is built with voxels, and that is something I've always loved. I loved when I got my first look at Cube World, and I love looking at what people can do with games like Minecraft, all games that use voxels to some degree or other. Station to Station is nothing like either of those games. This isn't Cube World, this isn't Minecraft. It's actually a combination of things that I never thought would work. It's kind of like Transport Fever meets mini motorways, except with trains. And sort of similarly to mini motorways, this game has stages. We have Greendale, we have all these different stages down here at the bottom. Each stage has different levels to it, I guess. I did say that I haven't played this before. I mean, in the context of actually, you know, doing a video on it. I've put about an hour into this. I played a custom game just to sort of get a look at things, but I didn't touch this little campaign here, and that's sort of what I want to do today. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be like an ongoing series. I don't know if this is going to be something that we try to finish, but I wanted to play this and bring some attention to it and take a look at it because I'm excited about it, and I'm going to play it regardless. This is something I'm going to do in my free time, so let's jump in. Let's take a look. We're going to be starting level 1 in Greendale. We have some challenges as well. It really is like mini motorways. Good Lord. So level 1. Oh, I love the load. I love like the, it's adorable. So the goal is to complete all 11 buildings. We can zoom out a little bit, and we have a very pretty map. It's going to teach me how to play it. You move around with WASD. You can also move around with the mouse. You can rotate, you can zoom in, you can zoom way in, you can zoom way out. It does get a little framey here and there, but that's totally fine. We can mouse over buildings to see what it does. This is a wheat farm, which is going to produce wheat, and this needs to be connected to a station. So if I press space bar or this button, I can place myself a little station. I can rotate it around as well. And so it seems like it wants me to put it in a very specific spot. We'll go ahead and put it right about there. And I think we need another one right about here. That's going to be a windmill, which I assume is going to turn, I assume, I know it's going to turn the wheat into flour, essentially. So what we want to do is click on one of the connectors at this station, and we just bring some tracks out like this, and you can just connect them together. You can go straight across if you want to, but it's not going to give you it's not the most pretty connection in the world. So what I'm going to do is bring this down to about here. Let's see if I can get a nice little connection there. That's not quite right. I can go a little bit further. That's not quite right either. I can go a little bit further back. That's still not quite where I want it to be. That's a little bit not right either. Oh, this is going to be a pain to get this exact, isn't it? That's going to be good enough. That'll do. And we want to use a freight train. And in doing that, we make some money, but we also get a bit of color and some light, you know, some plants, some trees and all that good stuff on the map. The mill received wheat and you got money. Receiving money also unlocks new buildings. So if we go down here, we've managed to unlock a couple of things. It looks like another couple of farms, which is absolutely fantastic. And now if I mouse over this, we can see the building is completed. So each wheat farm can only supply one mill. So the new wheat farm needs to be connected to a different mill rather than the one that I've already used. So this farm up here goes to this mill down here. This farm over here goes to this mill down here. So what we can do, what I assume we need to do, is go ahead and just place a little station there. And we'll do ourselves a little station. I'm going to say behind this is going to be a good spot. And then for this guy, we're going to do a station here. And we're going to do a station right about here. And in theory, I can probably just run these together like that. It's not the most pretty line in the world, that's for sure. So we'll bring this out a little bit further and sort of turn it that way. And we'll see if we can't maybe get something that looks okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this exact. I think that'll do right there. So that'll be a freight train. And that's going to be more flower production. And then down this way, I want to come out here and I sort of want to turn and go this way. And I want to go in behind this guy. I don't know if it's going to let me do this, but I'm hoping I can sort of come down like this and into there. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but I think we can pull this off if I go a little bit further back, a little bit down to here, and then turn in like this. I think I can go a little bit further down again. That's not quite where I want it to be. Maybe there? That's about perfect. So again, that's going to be flower production at all of the mills. We have so many trees popping up and so much color coming into the map. It looks absolutely beautiful. And it does. Like, you can zoom right in here and you get that lovely depth of field and everything. It looks so good. Absolutely, absolutely love it to bits. Now, if we have a look, I think we have new buildings. And that's going to be another wheat farm by the looks of it. So I guess we want to connect this guy to here, which is going to mean a little station coming out and around over these hills and then down to this mill, which is totally fine. And we can actually see we have something under construction here. We have something under construction there and here as well. So the more I do all of this stuff, the more stuff we're going to get in return. So what we'll do is another little station here, and we'll do a little station, I'm going to say right behind this mill as well. And my hope is that I can get something tricky terrain ahead. Control the direction of your railroad by clicking on the highlighted area. Wait, what? What does that mean? What exactly? So I don't want to do this. This is by no means what I want to do. Can I bring this? Create the anchor point in the white circle. Really? So drag to move. So what if I want it down here instead? Like, what if I want to go up and over? Is that what? I don't know if this is what it means. I guess it maybe is. And I guess we'll just sort of continue in this way and connect to there. And that should be okay. So that'll be a train going up and over the hills and down to this mill as well, which gives me some more new buildings, which is going to be something a little bit different. Oh, that's interesting. So this is a new building. This is a dairy farm that needs milk, or it needs, produces milk. It doesn't need anything. It produces milk, and it looks like it can produce 2 units of milk, which I guess will go to the 2 cheeseries, which means we're going to be making cheese. So what we can do in that case is potentially use 2 of the stops on this station, or we can potentially just have 1 train that runs the entire length of everything. That might be the way to go. I guess we'll find out. What we'll do is we'll go from here and we'll sort of just move this around a little bit. We'll go like this and we'll come up to here. I'd like to go a little bit further just to get that a little bit more in line. So a little further. That's perfect. So we'll do that. So that's 1 connection for the dairy farm. And then for this one, we could just go straight through. But I think what I'm going to do is come up like this. And I'm going to try just a straight sort of right angle on this. So it goes past the existing station. That's not actually a right angle at all. That's about a right angle there. We'll come up to here. We'll sort of curve around the cliff a little bit. We can come over. We can probably do a good right angle here, which I'm absolutely wanting to do. So if I rotate the camera a little bit, we can take a look. And I'm thinking I can maybe do this. I don't know how well it's going to work. Oh, I didn't know I could move it like that. That's actually really good. That's kind of perfect. So we'll do this. And that seems perfect. That seems pretty good. We'll go ahead and do a freight train, and that'll be milk going to both of those cheeseries. And that is the level complete. And so I guess that brings us to level 2, where we have to complete all 14 buildings. We also have a challenge: create long railroads with a combined length of over 2,200 meters. So we'll hit play and see what we're dealing with. We have some water in the middle, which is going to make things interesting. And right away, we have a bakery that needs flour. So that means we need to get it from a mill, which means we need to get that from a wheat farm. So what we can do is hit OK there, and we'll start with a station here. We can do another station right about, I'm going to move this one out just a little bit to there. And then this guy is going to have a station, I'm going to say right on the side about there. And connecting these guys together should be relatively easy. I want to see if I can get away. If I do this, I can move that 1 point there, and that helps me straighten everything up a little bit. So it lets me get things to look that little bit neater. And I want to bring it just this way. I really wish these would snap to right angles, but that seems pretty good. So we'll go ahead and do that, which is one freight train. And then for this guy, we can sort of go down and around, I suppose. So what I'm going to do is come off of here. I'm just going to put a bunch of little points around and we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can't maybe make something that's going to, I don't know, nicely connect this all together. That's kind of my goal here. So this is going to come down like so, and I'm going to go a little bit further with it just to sort of straighten things out. We'll keep that nice sort of 90-degree bend there. This guy can straighten up a little bit as well. And honestly, I don't mind that. I think that's pretty solid. So we'll do another freight train there, and that's going to be flour going to the bakery, which means the bakery is now producing bread, which should mean that we have some new buildings, which I would imagine is going to be a town. It absolutely is. So now that we have a town or a city, it needs bread, milk, cheese, and fish. So we can immediately set up this bakery to run to a station by the city. This is something I've never seen before. It's a fishing dock. It produces fish, so that's relatively self-explanatory. We know what to do with that. We'll go ahead and put a station down here. And I think we'll also just put a station. Well, I don't really know where to put the station here because we have a lot of buildings up that way that still have to be built. So maybe here would be the best place for it. Sort of have all the trains come in at a bit of an angle or something like that. I don't really know. I don't really know. We'll give it a little bit of distance, I think, and we'll come down like this. And that should be a good spot. Yeah, I'm actually kind of okay with that. So we'll connect these guys together as best we can. I'm going to do something like this for now and just adjust this so we get a really nice clean run there for the fish. And doing that it does give us a little bit more money, but that does complete the fish aspect of the city there. And then what we'll do is bring a train down like this. We'll bring something around. I love this. I love that little loop. That's absolutely perfect. We'll bring something over. We'll connect it to there. And all I need to do is try and straighten this up as best I can. That looks pretty solid to me. We'll go ahead and do it. And so that's now bread going to the city as well. So that's 2 of the 4 things that it needs. It does need milk and it does need cheese. And we do have new buildings. And those new buildings are going to be, that looks like everything I'm going to need. That is a dairy farm. That is a cheesery. And that's where we're going to be taking the cheese into the city. So we'll get ourselves another little station. We'll go relatively simple with it, just right next to it there. And then for this one, I'm going to go up here because what I can do, oh, actually, can I move you? Is that an option we have? I absolutely can. I'm going to move it to this side because it'll give me a little bit more room. I can bring this down, connect it to here. And I didn't want to get rid of that node. I actually want to get that node back in there. So do this and then just straighten that up, which that looks to be pretty good there. That one's pretty straight too. So that's going to be the milk to the cheesery. This guy is going to come out here. I'm really hoping I can do this. That looks like a little bit of a tight bend. It looks like I can get away with it. But I wonder, can I bring this over a little bit more? That right there is pretty perfect. So if I allow it, that is both milk and cheese going to the city. That was a really nice stack of things right there. And that right there is a level 5 or size 5 city. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I love how colorful this is. It's like solving a puzzle. That's the vibe, like, because it sort of is a puzzle game in a way, but seeing everything come together, it's like solving a puzzle. Now, what else have we got? We have what looks to be another wheat processing thing. So that's a bakery. That's a wheat farm. That's the mill. So it's going to be more, wait, hold on. What is this? Wheat to bakery to, wheat to mill to bakery. That's fine. You don't need anything else, do you? No. So I guess I set this line up. We're going to unlock some stuff in here. It might be another town. We might end up with another town here, which would be totally okay. So we'll get a station here. We'll get a station right about here. And I don't know where this one's necessarily going to need to go. So we'll do, I think what we'll do is this. I might rotate this one though. I think putting this guy, that's not what I want to do. I think putting this guy even on that side might be a bit better, because we have to remember that at the end of the day, we need to come out of the bakery. So we need to use that connector right at the back there. So what we'll do is bring this guy to here. We'll make sure we have a couple of nodes to make it nice and neat. And we'll get ourselves a nice straight shot into that station right about there. This one is pretty good looking, and that seems about good enough. I'm kind of okay with that. And that'll be the wheat to the mill. And then this guy is sort of a similar story. We're going to come down like this. We're going to go to there, and we need to not block that other connector. So this needs to come down to about there, and that should be some bread production. And that should give me more buildings. It absolutely does. And what have we got? We got fish. We have another town, and we have what looks like more cheese production as well. With this many new buildings, it can be hard to maintain a good overview. Press tab to view incomplete buildings. There we go. So this is another city. It wants bread, it wants milk, it wants cheese, it wants fish. What we can do is go ahead and throw ourselves a little station right about here. And I think, yeah, right about there should be good. That'll be our fish. I can get rid of some of these buildings, by the way. And I think I will, just for the sake of it. Now that's our cheesery, which needs milk. This is our dairy farm. So we'll get a station a little bit further away this time, just to try and get a nice straight run, or, well, as straight of a run as I can manage up to the cheesery there. It's not going to be exact, but that looks pretty good. That is actually perfect. So that's going to be milk to the cheesery. We'll allow that. We can have this guy sort of come out and around as well. So what we'll do is, ooh, that's not right at all. What we'll do actually is just have this sort of right angle here, which does cut through the terrain a little bit. I don't love that, but I'm going to allow it because why not? And we'll get that to be a nice straight connection. So bring you right over to about there. That is fine by me. We'll allow it. And that should be, what have we got coming in here? We have bread so far. We need the cheese as well. So bring this out from here to about there, and we can straighten this all up as well. Make it nice and neat. That looks good. That looks really good right there. So we can approve it. That is both milk and cheese going to the city. That was a nice little stack bonus as well. And then when it comes to this guy, I mean, it's gonna be a right angle really. So bring this straight over to about there. And I think that's gonna be our fish. That absolutely is. Is that mission complete? Is that the end of the level? It absolutely is. Look at that. It's such a good looking little game, isn't it? Like, look at it. It does. I mean, the depth of field is, it's a little annoying because this still, like, I'm really close to it and it still looks a little bit blurry, but that's so, it's so pretty. It really is. Now, here's the question. Did we complete the special challenge? We have, oh my God. We were so close. We were so close. I did 2,078 meters. I needed to do 2,200. Was I too efficient? I guess I don't want to be like, I'm really good at this game, but no, that's fine. That's fine. What's the next one? So complete all 14 buildings, end the level with at least $500, and complete the level without creating more than 2,000 meters of railroads in total. So now I have to be efficient. Interesting. And there's this big sort of hill in the middle of everything as well. Okay. So we're starting with a wheat farm. We have a mill, and that seems like the only production we have at the moment. Now, here's the thing. You can absolutely create bridges. And what I'm thinking is that potentially the most efficient thing to do here is going to be something like this, which honestly, it's not going to look pretty at all. It's really not. This is sort of where the game does turn into like an old train set that you might have had when you were a bit younger. I know I had different train sets and stuff. So you get these really steep inclines, but if we're trying to do this challenge, then I think that's what I'm gonna do, is have the steep incline and try and not go too crazy with it. So what else have we got here? All right, so that's gonna be our bakery that needs flour. Now, the cool thing about this is, let's see, indirect connections. To save on railroad costs, this bakery can receive flour indirectly via the station at the wheat farm since it's already connected to a mill. I was just about to say that. Thank you, game. So basically, I can just do this and it will work, and that's okay. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's actually a pretty straight shot there. Actually, can I move the station? Oh, I can move the station while oh, that's so good. That's so good. I'm going to do this just to save on some distance, and we'll go ahead and build that. And now we have wheat going across, which is absolutely fantastic. And we've saved on some tracks. So what are the new buildings we're looking at? It's going to be dairy. Oh, that's a distance. So the thing the game mentioned there was resources can go through multiple stations. So what I can do here is a little connection, something a bit like this. And then what I'll do is bring this sort of down to there, bring this over to there. That's pretty solid for a connection. That looks relatively straight. Some nice straight lines there. We'll connect that. So that is going to be, that's the cheesery itself, which needs milk from the dairy farm. So what we'll do is a little station here, and we'll bring this sort of out. We'll bring this over. Oh, I don't know if I can actually do this. I'm really hoping I can. So I need this connection. This is currently blocked, which is fine. That actually doesn't look so bad. That's actually a really nice little connection right there. So we'll go ahead and do that. That should connect everything together. It absolutely does. That's good. That's good. That's the same network. It's weird, but it does work. And then we get fishery and we get a town. And now, so what I can potentially do here is a massive sort of stack combo, and I kind of want to give it a shot. So I'm going to block 2 of the connections to this station like that, which might not make a lot of sense, but just watch this. This is something I didn't really think about doing before, but this might actually work amazingly well. So if I do a station here, that's going to be fish, and that's going to be good. So we'll get 2 nodes so I can connect these guys together. We'll get that going nice and straight there. That looks pretty good. This one's already pretty good as well. So we'll build that, and that's going to be fish. This one, now I don't love that I'm going to be bringing the tracks sort of, you know, out behind like this. This is not exactly ideal, but it should be okay. We can bring this over and connect it to there. And if I just bring this over a little bit further, that should connect everything together. And it absolutely does. Look at that for a stack combo. That's so good. And that completes the city as well. I love that. So we have this one train that's bringing absolutely everything to that city. That's so good. We don't have much money at the moment, which is a bit of a worry. We've only done half of the buildings, and I somehow need to finish this with $500. I am a little concerned, but we'll see what we can do. So now, that's not fair. That's so many things. Oh, it's everything. I like that. I actually like that as a challenge. Okay. So we want to string everything together is what that tells me. So a wheat farm is the start of it. The wheat needs to go to the mill. We need the dairy farm to be connected as well. So I'm going to have to do a lot of this with bridges, I think, just to try and, you know, keep the distances down a little bit. So we'll do something like this. I don't love it, but we'll give this a shot. So the wheat needs to go to the mill, which needs to go to the bakery, but it doesn't all need to be connected directly together, which is fine. The fishing situation is going to be this. This is our cheesery, which is fine. Oh man, this is going to be, I think this is going to be really messy, but I'm thinking I can get away with it. If I can keep these all in a single network, we should be all right. So we'll give that a shot. So that's a station at absolutely everything. And then we need one for the town as well. So we'll do the same kind of thing. We'll do the station right here. And this is what I'm thinking is going to be the connection to the town, right? So that's how we're going to get everything into the little city that we have. But I don't want to, oh, I have to build it. Oh, I have to commit to it. Ooh, I was hoping I could plan this, but no, we have to commit. That's dangerous. I'm going to commit. I'm going to commit to it. And then for this guy, it's going to be something like this, which again is something we're going to have to commit to, but that's okay. So we'll do a nice sort of, I think these right angles are kind of murdering me here. It's also really expensive. It's so expensive. That's worrying. Let's, that's a little bit worrying. I'm not going to lie. Let's try and connect these guys together. So something like that. That's $60. That's okay. I'm hoping that the stack combo here is going to help me out. These guys, I'm going to connect together like this. It's only $50. So bring this down. Bring this down a little bit as well. That's $49. I could be doing this so much more efficiently. That's 47. That'll do. All right. So that connects fish to the city. We still need all of the dairy products. So what we'll do is connect those guys to, that's 79. That's a bit rough, but okay. We'll commit. And then 77 for this last bit is going to be tricky. I can't afford it. Are you kidding me? Oh no. Oh no, I need 145. How do I get more money? Each connected resource earns $70. Okay. Wait. Oh no. That means I need to, okay. Each connected resource earns $70. That means I need to be more picky with what I do. Oh, okay. We need to restart is what that means. Or perhaps we don't. I could reload the save a little bit and I've managed to connect some things here, which has given me a little bit more money. So now if I run this connection over here and we're just going to do $46, we'll do this. That gives me plus $70, gives me $248. Connecting to the bakery is going to mean that we are, I think, going to be making some bread here. So the way I'm going to do it is be a little bit ugly with it and just do this. And that should mean 70 from there and 70 from the city. So plus 20% gives me 316, meaning this guy needs to connect to there. And that means, I think, I'm gonna have 140 plus 20 is 168, gives me $370. And that's level completed. We didn't manage to end the level with as much money as I was hoping for. I was hoping we could do the $500 thing, but apparently not. That's okay. It's interesting. I forgot that each connected resource was sort of important, so I think this level was maybe more about just being very direct with everything I was doing rather than trying to make it all look nice the way I did down here. So that's totally fine. That's okay. Let's do one more just because I think I've learned some things there. We didn't do the funding challenge, but we did do the special challenge, which is lovely. So let's see what the fourth level. Actually, I say one more. You know what? There's only two more for this stage. So we'll do both of them and then, you know, that'll be a first look at this game, right? That's what we'll do. We'll do the two more that we have. And so we have another 14 buildings. We need to end the level with at least $700 and complete the level without bridges. Oh, that's mean. We start with 1,500 and we start with some options. We have a wheat farm. We can hit tab actually and see what we're dealing with. So these are right next to each other. That's actually good though, because that means that we have a single station for this. So what I can do essentially is this, and I can go up to here and I can do, I think we'll do this, and we'll just sort of bring this straight out. And we'll try our best to, I'm going to try and not do the bridges. I think that's kind of a fun little challenge here. So we'll do this sort of thing. And I want to try and straighten this out as best I can. I want it to look decent. So that's sort of what we're going to go for. That looks pretty good there. That can sort of come over like this, which rotates these guys around a little bit, which I don't love, but that doesn't look so bad. That is not as good as I'd want. So right about there should be fine. That looks good. That looks good. This looks fair enough. It's very expensive what I'm doing here, but I'm going to allow it. It's going to be a stack challenge at the very least. Its resources sort of going back and forth. So 140 plus 20. That's pretty good. Once a railroad is completed, you cannot edit the rails or connected stations. If you get stuck, press escape and choose reload checkpoint. That's fine. So the bakery is producing, but it has nowhere to take things right now, which is honestly okay. And then over this way, it's sort of a similar story. So we have wheat, we have a bakery, we have a mill. This would want bridges. I don't like that. I don't know how to feel about that. Interesting. Okay. We'll do a station. I'm going to say here or there. Would that be better? I think that might be better. It's going to be a little bit longer, but we'll give it a shot. And we'll do a station. I'm going to say back here. So I've got a little bit less distance to cover with some tracks. On this side, we'll do the station. I'm thinking back there, so the track's going to come up and turn in. I don't know if that's a good idea. Have we got anything to build down this way? We might. We have something here, and that looks like it's going to probably be a city. So let's do the station like this, and that should be okay. So the way I want to connect this all together, essentially, is come out here, come down here, over there, and into there. Now, how am I going to make this look good is the question. And it's also a question of how am I going to make this affordable? Now, that's not terrible. I honestly don't mind how that looks right there, but we'll bring this back a little bit to save some money. That's 106. We'll allow it. So that's one little run right there. We got plus 70 for it. This guy is going to come down. It's going to go all the way over here. All the way to here, all the way to there, and all the way to the right about there. So we'll straighten this out. We'll bring this over to save a little bit of money, because I think we can actually, I do think we can save a little bit on this. Bring this back a little bit to save some, and bring it just sort of over a little bit to save some. So 148 is a lot of money, but we will allow it. I think that's going to look pretty good. So that's resources going that way. That's plus 70, which means we get a new structure, which is a city, which is fantastic. That's actually going to be, that's 2 cities. Interesting. Okay. So this one wants fish as well as everything else. This one wants everything else as well. This one wants, okay. So we have some farms that are going to pop up down this way as well, which I'm assuming is probably going to be the cheeseries. So what we'll do is, how do I want to do this? If I bring you back a little bit, I can get a run from here to there, and I'm going to allow that. And if I just go ahead and put the station for this city, let's see, we have some stuff up there. We're going to have to come down that way. So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to bring this guy over and run to there. And again, you know, obviously we want to have some money. We want to not just go completely broke, but I do want these to look kind of decent as well. We'll do this. I'm not going to just stress too much about it. That'll be a bunch of resources going to here. That's a nice little stack bonus as well. And so that gives me still 1,100, which is pretty solid. And that's going to be the fish as well as the bread, I think. Yep, fish and bread going to this guy. And then for this guy, it's a similar story. We're going to have fish and bread go into it as well. So we'll do a station here. And we'll do a station, I'm going to say, right about there. Now, I have to be careful about this. Yeah, I have to be really careful about this. And here's why. If I come off of here and I connect to here, what's going to happen is that's obviously one connection gone. If I come down here and connect to that one, we can't bring cheese and milk in at the bottom. So what I really should have done is connected to this connector. Basically what this means is I need to do this as my means of getting these resources into that town. And I think that's the connection I'm going to do. So we'll go ahead and do that, which is going to be the bread. We'll bring this over. We'll come off of here actually to avoid that, that bridge. And that actually looks pretty good. So we'll just approve it, which is totally fine. So that is just going to leave us with milk and cheese. So if we approve the next builds, we have theoretically everything we're going to need. We absolutely do. And hopefully, hopefully I can pull this off. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go and see if I can do a little something right about there. And then for these guys, sort of a similar story. I'm going to do an angle for this, this station actually, just to really try and optimize my pathing here. And for this one, I'm thinking we do this. So these guys connect together. We'll bring that out and bring it over. Let's see. Am I doing this right? Is this a smart way to do things? I hope it is. I'm kind of okay with that as a run. So, ooh, wait, so that's going to be milk to there. That should be fine. This comes all the way out and goes to there. We'll run this down a little bit further. And that should be both milk and cheese going to that city, which it absolutely is. So that's giving us a stack bonus plus the 20%. That leaves us with 851. So I'm hoping I can do this challenge. I'm hoping, let's see, it's buildings and finish with $700. Ooh, we might be able to do that. We might be able to do that. There's a chance we can pull it off. So that's $88 right there. That's a lot. That is a lot, but we're going to give it a shot. Now this has to come down around and ooh, it's a lot of weaving. It's a lot of weaving. I don't know if both of these challenges are going to be possible at once. That's my concern here, is that it might not be possible to do both of these challenges at the same time, but we'll give it our best shot. So this is going to come down. That is so much money. I think I can do this. So the star challenge has been completed, and I think that's enough to push us over 800. It is. We did both. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I really like this one. I really like this one. It's really satisfying getting everything connected together like this. It's interesting as well because it was totally different to the last one. The one before this was all about having everything run through the same stations. This one was like, yeah, we're going to do it different. This was good. I like this one. I really want to see what the last one is because I'm hoping it takes everything I've learned and combines it into one. And by the looks of it, we have 14 buildings. We need to finish with $900 and save a total of $300 by using cards. Now, cards are a new thing. I know what cards are, but this will be interesting. Use cards to reduce the cost of railroads. Like new buildings, cards can be obtained after connecting resources. There are many different cards, each with their own unique uses. So we have cheap rails. Rails cost half the regular price. Bridge price is unchanged. If enabled, consumes the card the next time a railroad is created. Okay, so we have a city down here that wants, what does it want? It wants all the usual stuff. We have a fishing dock here. So I'm wondering if I do this and I do this, that should be a thing. I can sort of connect these guys together, which is, it's a little bit expensive, but not the end of the world. It is too expensive. Interesting. So we'll use this to make some cheap rails, makes it $83, which is much better, to be quite honest. Move this over a little bit to straighten it out somewhat. So that looks pretty good. This is going to just be going to about there. And honestly, let's go ahead and build it. And that gives us a really nice run. That was some good money saved. It gives me $140 and it gives me a new card as well. Cheap bridges. Okay. What are the buildings that we have? Ah, I see what we're doing here. I see what we're doing here. So it is kind of encouraging me to use bridges for this. That's totally fine. What we'll do is put this guy here and we'll put this guy right about there. And then they should connect together really well. We'll do cheap bridges, $55, and we'll do a freight train. So again, that gives me $140. And we have new cards. We have a lot of new cards. Good Lord. And some new buildings. What are we looking at? We're looking at a lot. Oh no. Is it about to throw the entire map at me? No. Okay. That's fine. So this is a dairy farm. That is a bakery. Let me turn on all of the overlays. So we have wheat to a mill to a bakery. and a city is going to be built in there, I think. That's fine. Actually, maybe not. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. There are still a lot of things to build, though. And then we have, what is this? So that is our dairy farm. I don't think I need to go too crazy with this. I think what I can do, potentially, is a station right about here. And I'm thinking I bring this over and I do that. So it runs through that state. Ooh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's do that instead. Let's do that instead, because my thinking is this place, this city over here needs some stuff, right? It's going to need milk. It also needs cheese. And it also needs bread. Ooh. How do I want to do this? Ooh, hold on. This might not be the best idea. I also should have used a card to save some money there. That was a mistake. Yeah, I screwed up. I screwed up. I totally screwed up. I should have used the card. I have no money. I need to reload a checkpoint. So let's try that again. We'll do the same idea. We'll run this out to here. We'll run that to there. That's 62, but I want to do cheap rails for 31. And if I bring this over, I think it's always sort of going to be 31-ish. So we'll do that. That gives me 31. That leaves me, what is this? That's a wheat farm. That's a wheat farm. That's a mill. I probably should have set up. Oh, I should have set up some combos here. That's a bakery. Wait, the bakery. Ooh. Oh, the bakery might have been the way to go. Wheat farm, mill, bakery. Yeah. Because this is, again, $50. That's going to leave me 11, which is going to be so expensive. This might not work. So 50 for you. Can I connect you together with some cheap? Can I use 2 cards at once? It makes it 18. Interesting. So in theory, yes, is the answer. Can I do this? Be 17. Okay. Okay, this is a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. So looking at the buildings again, let's look at what we can do for production right now. So this is a bakery, which if we connect it to this station, will give us bread. If we connect it to here, that gives us a connection to the city. So this bakery is going to have a station here. And I want to run some tracks down this hill, sort of down like this into there. Now that's 112 right now, which is a lot. But my thinking is if I then bring this back a little bit, it makes it a little bit cheaper. Bring you to sort of there again, it gets a little bit cheaper. If I do cheap rails, it cuts it in half to 55, which is going to leave me 40. No, it's not going to leave me 40 anything. Ooh, okay. Maybe we don't do that yet. Maybe what we do is connect these guys together. So that's 39. I'm also not going to make these look good. I'm going to just do what's efficient. So that gives me a connection. That'll give me money. So we're up to 140 for that, 193. I can run this down to here. I'm going to do one little sort of cut on this so that I do get that going straight in there. 108. Cut that in half to 54. That should be bread now going to the city. 140 brings me to 279. That's much better. That is good. And now, if I run from this dairy farm to this cheesery and connect the cheesery to this station, that'll run all of the milk and the cheese to the city as well. So now this station goes here, and we're going to do this. It's not very pretty, but it's what we're going to do. We'll do cheap rails, I think. I think that's what I want to do. We're going to do cheap rails. That'll be all right. That gives me another 140. We'll do a station here. Connect you guys together. I'm not going to do cheap rails for that. We'll do this, but that should give me a stack combo or a stack bonus. That's a pretty good stack bonus as well. Plus 20%, 336. Oh, that gives me so much more money. That's what we wanted to do. That's what we needed to do. Okay, so this city now has everything it could possibly want. What does that leave me with? That leaves me with a wheat farm, a mill, and a bakery. So cheap bridges and cheap rails will be useful for a lot of this. We have got to build down there. That looks like it might be a city. So I'm going to do a station here. I am going to do a station right here. And I'm going to do a station right here. And so this is going to be wheat to this guy. We'll bring this sort of straight out and straight over. And I'm not going to bother saving money on this one because I don't think we need to. And that'll give me another $140 for that connection, which is good. This one, I'm kind of hoping I can do a couple of connections to make this a bit better. So let's sort of straighten you up a little bit, just like that. And let's bring you down a little bit. I think this is going to be expensive regardless of what I do, but I can do cheap bridges and cheap rails and make this whole thing cost 74, which is much, much better. So let's do that. And that will give me a nice little connection, which is another $140. We then get more new cards, which is cheap bridges and cheap rails. We then get more new buildings, which is, oh, that's bad. That's really bad. I should have used a different connection for this. That's really bad. Okay. Actually, that's maybe not so bad. Hold on. If I do this, that's 54. Not a great looking connection. So let me just bring you a little bit closer. In fact, we can bring this much closer. We can get this down to $40 by doing that. So we'll build it. That doesn't do anything right now. But then if I was to build a station up here with, say, right about there, bring this down, bring this over, and somehow I need to connect this around. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. That actually, I don't hate that. And we can make that cheap as well. We can absolutely make that cheap. We can also bring this back a little bit to save some money. It's actually only 128, but we'll do the cheap bridge. We'll do the cheap rails. We'll save it. 54. That'll give us 140 for that guy. That gives us more buildings, which is going to be fish and a city. Oh, that's painful. That's painful. That's also no new cards, but I don't think I need new cards. Also, that's a different looking city. It's really cool looking. What I think I can get away with is a station here and some tracks kind of running this way. So if I straighten that up a little bit to there, and I sort of bring you over a little bit, straighten you out a little bit, it's going to be 70. I don't like that it's 70. I can bring that price down, but I mean, 65, 62 is about as low as it can go. I think I'll just allow it to be, well, something like that. 69. Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. Wait. Oh my God, what a stack bonus. Oh my God. Wait, it just needs fish now. I didn't think about that. I wasn't thinking about that at all. The real question is, can I go over the water? That's what I need to know. Can this, yeah, this can totally go over the water, I think. Hold on. Wait, bridge too long? Oh no. Oh, that might be a problem. I can go over other tracks. I don't like to go over other tracks, but I can. And I think that's what I'm going to have to do here. It's not going to be very neat looking, but I think we're going to have to do it. I think we're going to have to allow it. So we'll do this. And then basically that's what I need to kind of do. I don't, oh, that looks terrible. 150 for that. How much does it want me to have at the end? 900. Oh, that's frustrating. So if I had done this layout slightly better, I'd be able to do a lot more here. Going up and over like this isn't going to be better. 240. Wait, what is that? 187? That's actually not, it's not that bad, honestly. What was that? 193? If I had some cards left, I'd be able to do this better as well. What I should have done is connect this one to this station. Yeah, there's a lot that I could have, should have, would have done here. What was that? 312? Good Lord. I think that's what I gotta do. Let's see if I can move this station around a little bit. Save some money. What is that? 184. I move you down a little bit. To like there. 186. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to. 145. 184. 184 seems to be the cheapest. 182, 181, 185. I don't think I can get it all that cheap, to be honest. I think we're gonna have to just bite the bullet and say 182 is as cheap as it's gonna be. So we'll do that. That's gonna be fish going over to the city. That's money coming into me. We didn't manage to do the 900 at the end of it, but that is technically mission accomplished. That's pretty cool. This one is one that I want to replay. This was actually kind of a challenge, but there's a lot. If I'd thought about it better, there's a lot we could have done. It is really cool though, that you get to see like the individual trains with all of the different resources. And then you get the train going down to the city with, you know, again, all of the different resources. I love that. I really do. That's so cool. Let's have a look and see how we did then. So obviously we did the buildings. We missed $101, but we did manage to save. We saved $425 out of $300. That's pretty good. And so that opens things up for Sunforge Sands. The first level has a funding challenge. Finish the level with a lot of money left. And the star challenge is find and click. Oh boy. Find things. That's going to be a nightmare. 5 levels though. That's fine. We can't really see Riverbend Woods at the moment, which is fine. It actually looks like we're going to unlock 2 different levels if we complete Sunforge Sands. So we might do that. I'll think about it, but I want you to think about it as well. Let me know what you think of Station to Station in the comments below. This is available on Steam. This isn't a sponsored video. It's nothing like that. It's just a game. It's one of those games I saw on Twitter and I just thought I've got to play it. And I had a lot of fun with this. I'm going to have to go back and replay a lot of those levels and try and get them locked in and see what I can do with it. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you want to see some more of this? What I'll probably do if we do turn this into a thing is we'll do a stage every episode. So today we did Greendale. Next time we'll do Sunforge Sands, and we'll sort of go that way with it, assuming that, you know, a specific level within doesn't take 3 hours to beat, but we'll see what happens. Either way, thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.